So yeah, recording has begun. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so as I told today, this will be a small like intro type workshop for latex. Okay. Now you might be wondering, like some of you might be hearing this for the first time. So what latex is basically like, say you have something like this document, and say you want to write mathematical formulas such as this thing. Okay, or you want to write a matrix or various kind of formulas, or you want to orient or align the formulas in some fashion. Basically you want to write some kind of mathematical document. So like it's quite a tedious task to do the same thing in some word document. Like it's quite tough. So so what people usually do, they write all this stuff in latex. Latex is, you can consider it some kind of language, but it's like English type language only. Like how you have C language, those all, it's similar. Like you write some syntax so that the output is this. So that's what latex is. So today, like I'll take you through this stuff so that you'll get a basic idea. Like by the end of the workshop, how to write some basic commands. Like obviously, you can always for beginners it might be tough to remember the command, so you can always Google it, like how to do this or how to do that. So I'll explain like even how to exactly from which website to look at and all, because even we also can't know all the commands. So yeah, that's pretty much natural. Just checking. Yeah, it's recording. Fine. So okay. So what you basically need is some kind of editor. Okay. So you need some kind of editor. So this is called Mictex editor. So like if you write, like suppose you have some files and you will run it here, and then it will give you the PDF as output. Okay. So I'll just take you through the steps. Like there are various kinds of editors actually, where you can write your sort of code, or you can write your latex program. Latex program would be a better term. And you can like compile it, that the editor will only compile and it will generate a PDF. Okay. So there are two famous editors. Okay, so one is this Text Studio. Okay, so even I have that also. So this is Text Studio. So what you can do, Text Studio download, like just Google it, and so it's a latex editor as I told, and you can download it actually. Like you have Windows version. If someone is using Ubuntu like me, for them you have this Ubuntu. So all this, it's pretty, just uh, go to the homepage and you'll get it. Okay, so this is one editor, and another editor which I generally use is this Mictex. Okay, Mictex install. If you keep, if you just search this command. So if you're using Windows, you'll get this. And similarly, if you are using Linux, you'll have the separate command. Okay. So according to my experience, I would say that if you have Windows, use Mictex, and if you have Linux, try to use Text Studio, because installing installing Mictex on Linux it is a bit tedious task. Like you can see, like you have to run so many commands, and like it's a bit cumbersome task actually. Like in case you can like successfully do this installation, then it's well and good. Otherwise, like yeah, fine, you can continue with Text Studio. It's just an editor, but I feel the experience in Text Studio is far, like the experience is not that good compared to Mictex. Like especially you have these both things separate. Like this is where you write your commands, and this is the output PDF. Yeah, not an issue. So I'll close this. Okay. So in like assume that you have downloaded this, like installed this properly. Okay, so what you have, you'll enter the like this type of console and you can press this. So what it will open is some, okay, I'll show what it will open. So if you press something new, it will open some untitled.txt. So the file format is .tex. Okay, so this is the file format, and in this you'll be writing your commands. I'll show the basic idea of your commands, how they are. So this is where you'll be writing your commands. So maybe I can write it here itself. It's not an issue. Okay. So I'll just mention like okay. Is the font size visible? Can someone confirm? What I'm writing, is it visible here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So suppose I'm so what? Okay. So I'll just write something like simple paragraph for now will work. Like this is a demo session for latex. Okay. So when you play save controllers, so what you can do, you can save it in the folder. So demo you can keep. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So I have created a file called demo.tx. Okay. So now what you have, usually you have some template. Okay. So you need not create the document template from scratch. So you have some ready-made templates. So what you have to do, so I'm just telling it very briefly actually, like it's very simple, I guess. So you have something called begin document. So after that, you can write input. Okay, you can input and you can write your file name demo. So what it will do, so it will read, like this template will read your demo.txt, whatever you have written, it will output it. Okay, so we can see what it will output. So we can just comment it out, the remaining file. So for commenting out, you have to press percentage, so it will comment out. So that's the standard. So for commenting out, you have to press this percentage symbol. So now this document will contain only, it will contain some headers. You can ignore it. Maybe I'll change demo. Maybe I can remove this part. So these are all template, like it's evident from the name, title, author, even date also you can keep. For now I've kept it empty, means that there won't be any date shown. So for now I want to show the content in this file demo. So we can press compile. So you have, it will show something like this. So the heading is demo, author name, section 1, and it will write it is a demo session for latex. Okay, so is it clear till now whatever I have done? Obviously you can, this, since this you're seeing for the first time, after the session ends, in case you want to practice this stuff on your own, you can like revisit the video and you can actually like follow the commands what I'm doing. So yeah, so so these things are actually the reason why I kept a workshop today is uh, like these skills are actually quite necessary in case like you want to go for higher studies or in any department. What they see is whether you can write latex files or not, like you have this skill, because the professors there, they don't want to take the burden of like teaching you how to do this stuff. Like it's better if you're equipped with these skills. So, and it's quite fine. And even as I will show later, even you have to do BTech project or MTech project in future, there anyhow you have to write in latex only. So it's better if you have some idea beforehand how to use latex. Okay, so this is the way. Suppose, so it's clear, right, till now? Can someone confirm?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. So suppose this is, you have section. So in that, if you have subsection like 1.1, So it's pretty, the commands are very actually simple, like it's English command. So you can write subsection and you can write say part 1 maybe. Okay, so you can write this and yeah, so you can see you get part 1 and actually you can go up to subsection, like there can be another subsection, so up to 3 levels you can go in total. So this will be sub part 1 maybe. So usually people even don't even go to subsection, like most of them they restrict to subsection only. But yeah, it's on you, you can go see 1.1.1. The numberings you need not bother, it will continue, like I'll show. Like that's the best part about latex. Like you actually, there's lot of advantage of latex. You need not like bother about these numberings and all, it automatically takes care of everything. Okay, so see like demo 2. So you can just copy this content here above. Okay, okay, so this is like, see, automatically the numberings are set. Okay, so this is one advantage. Another advantage is, which is one, like before I go to the mathematical formula, how do we write and all, which is actually quite fun sometimes to write. There's one big advantage. Okay, the advantage is, say suppose you are writing something here, okay, in this section, and you want to refer the reader to the previous section or some particular section. So usually if you're writing in Word, you'll see, okay, please see, say section 1 for prerequisite or something like that. Okay, so okay, what is the problem with this? Okay, okay, can someone tell me what's the problem if I write this, like if I write this and like refer to the reader to the previous part, like for now it's fine, but what potential problems I can face if I'm writing in this fashion? Like if I'm referring to the section 1 in this particular fashion, what can be some problems which I might face in future? Any logical guesses? Not maths question, obviously. It's your like comfort level question actually.
It might create some other section.
Yeah, if you create some section before demo, then demo section number gets changed, right? So if you just create, like if you just copy this part, say before this, if you, so before this if you write this, so maybe demo demo 0, maybe demo, oh yeah, fine, you can write like this. So see, your demo became 2. Okay, it now became section 2, but it's still section 1 here. So again, you have to go and change it manually, and all those are like quite cumbersome tasks, and you can actually make mistakes in this. Okay, so what you do, you write this section demo, and beside it, you write something called label, and something like, it's a unique pointer, you can say pointer to that section. So you can write sec demo, something like that. Okay, okay, do something like this, and what you do, you want to reference, so you write reference and the unique part, this is the unique part. So obviously the commands, obviously you can't remember, so don't get flustered, but just get the intuitive idea what I'm doing. Later command by command you can see, like once we are done with the video session, like this discussion session, but just observe this part. Okay, so this part, so this will automatically now become section 2. See, it became 2. Now if I add like, now if suppose if I remove this part, like, so it will become section 1. You can see. So it becomes section 1. So this is one huge advantage of having this referencing, because you can like you need not bother about numbering. Like you define a unique pointer, obviously you can do that, like keep some fancy name for the section so that it won't get repeated in future, which is quite easy. And you do the referencing, you do this kind of referencing, and you will be done. Like you no need not bother. Okay. And then obviously you have some special features, like I guess it should work. Let me check just 1 second. Okay, okay. It actually, this part actually depends from template to template. Like if you want to write theorem, actually the standard is this thing, but I may, like, you can customize also. Like it's on you how you do the templating. So I kept it THM, theorem, but this is not the standard command. Remember, I think the standard command was theorem only. So need not follow what I wrote, but just so you'll have theorem 1, and even the theorem numbers will get set automatically. And you'll have, you can label the theorem also, so that you if you want to reference the theorem in future, you can reference. And you can write begin proof and end proof. You can do this and write something. Yeah, you can do this, and like you can play with, like you can write proof theorem and then proof, and your proof will begin. So all these are pretty standard stuff. Let me show actually here. Okay, suppose you are searching for something. Suppose you want to write how to write theorem, how to write theorem in latex. So you want to search, like search it. Okay, so this overleaf is a very good source actually for your latex commands. Okay, so don't get confused by this, but like these are some like this is something called environment. Like you can say this is part of your template. So as you begin playing with the latex, you'll get to know this. Like it's like sort of stating like um, how like how my template should look. So based on that, all those some predefined commands will be there, which you can actually blindly copy paste it and paste in your template and just work it out. So if, as I told, begin theorem, end theorem, you can do, and you can get standard, like it numbering also will be taken care automatically. So all these things you can do. So for you can search anything. You if the best site to look for is Overleaf. Okay, so this contains all your commands. Okay, so this is quite standard. So is it clear till now? Like whatever I told. Maybe theorem part you can look at later, but just like theorem part you actually need not bother, because in your template you can just go and see like, okay, how is like how can you write theorem. So you can start begin theorem, end theorem, write your theorem, write your proof, and so on. Like you can continue in this fashion. It's not an issue. If you want, I can supply you this template. In my template, you it's like THM actually. Like I'll show the place why it came THM. Just like to make my writing quick, just for that. So this is the template, sort of, you can say. So all the commands and all, it's there. So yeah, this is where I wrote this small stuff actually. Like if I replace it by theorem, just then Oh, okay, okay, 1 second. Okay, lot of changes have submitted. Yeah, if you see, I replaced it by theorem. So I just went and made some changes in my template. So if you write begin theorem and write something, and then you can begin your proof. Okay. So this was the basic intro which I gave right now. So is it clear, or like some part needs any more elaboration or anything? Can someone confirm?
It's clear.
Yeah, okay. So this is fine. Uh, okay. So now let's look at the interesting part, which is the mathematical formula. Okay. So first I'll begin with what I remember. Like I remember most of the stuff, but some matrix type commands are a little bit difficult. So first I'll begin with basic stuff. Okay. So let's forget this stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's remove all this. Let's write section mathematical formula. Okay. Now, okay, I forgot to tell you this thing. So it's pretty standard. Like if you want to write, if you want to do bullets, so write itemize and itemize and do item like high buy and something like that. So you'll get bullets from here. Okay, just I'll do this back. Okay, so this is the bullets. Okay, similarly if you want to do numbering, actually as far as I can remember, just 1 second. Okay, okay, sorry, some experiment went wrong. I'll look at it later. Okay, so similarly if you want to do numbering in this so what you have to do, you have to write begin enumerate and do end enumerate, and then you have to press item I by. So you can see you got 1 2 and so on. Okay, so this is fine. So this is fine. So let's look at some uh, like mathematical formula now. So first one is power. So if you want to write any mathematical formula, so you should write between two dollar signs actually. Like what you have to do, you have to write like type $2, and between these $2 you have to write your mathematical formula. So suppose you want to write a to the power b, so you can write like this. So this is, I'll make the font a bit big. 1 second. There's no zoom option. Okay, something I'm facing problem regarding zoom option, but fine. So I hope it is. I hope this is visible, right? Whatever I'm writing on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if you write A and then that I don't know what the symbol is called, but you can see the symbol. Like usually we write power like that only in laptop. So A cap B, then you'll have power. Okay. So as you can see, you have power here. Okay. Now if you now okay. So by default, this A cap B will only take the right character. It will just take the right character. It won't take any further character. Like if you write A, B, C, D, so it won't do A to the power B, C, D. It will just do A to the power B into C, D. Like, yeah. So suppose I want to do A to the power B, C, D. So what you should do, you should keep curly braces. Like this. So then it will go above. So this is power. Similarly, you have subscript. So if you do A1 like this, so you'll get like this is underscore. Okay, A underscore 1. So you will get this. This is subscript 1. And say again, it will only apply to the right character. So if you write 1, 2, 3, 4, it won't go in subscript. So if you want to make it go to the subscript, so you have to keep this curly braces and it will go to the subscript. Okay. So this is the basic like formula which people usually write. Okay. Now, you have some special formulae like summation. So for that, it's quite simple. Like do sum. Maybe I is equal to 1 to say 100 maybe. And you do summation of AI. So you'll get something like this. Oh, I forgot to keep dollar, I guess. Yeah. So remember to keep dollar. It's one of the most common mistakes. Like, so you'll get this. Okay. So you'll get like this particular thing. And maybe like you might wish to bring it under here. Just let me see if it works or not. Yes. One second. Remembering commands is a bit difficult here. Just search it like the limits in latex. Okay, it's lim. No, not this thing. Okay, fine. Like, okay, just one second. Okay, there used to be one command which I used to use. I don't know why it's not working. Maybe it's not defined here. Like you have to define those commands also. So we can use like you can use this. Sometimes if you like, you can write mathematical formula under this like this slash left square bracket and then slash right square bracket. You can write in this fashion also. So you'll get under this, but the problem with this is it's not inline. Like you can't get it yet. We'll take it to the new line. So so that's why most of the times we just continue with this thing. It's not much of a difference, but yeah, there used to be one command I forgot it. Just pardon me, but yeah, for now you can work out with this only. Like it's quite similar. Okay, so this is summation. Now there are other commands, so I'll better show you the website. Okay, I'll keep it in the link also. You can also see I kept it in the chat section. So what you can do, you can play with these commands like you have to write these commands in the inside the $2 symbol, and you'll get all these symbols actually. Like, yeah, this is some very basic symbols which is quite tough to write in your normal word editor, like inequalities. So a less than equal to b, and then actually you can write this all together. A, G, Q, B, keep a space, and then you have A, NEQB. So this is LEQB means less than equal to, GQB means greater than equal to, NEQ means not equal to. Then also what we have, like we have A belongs to B, like A is inside B. So A in B, and then A is subset of B. Subset EQ also we can write, like it will contain the symbols I'll show you. So yeah, so you'll get the symbols. So writing these symbols is quite tough in Word, but it's quite easy in your LaTeX. Like you just type flow, keep typing in flow, and like these actually, like once you do LaTeX, these commands will be in your tip of your hands, but there can be other commands which is quite tough to remember. So you have this very beautiful list here. So yeah, so all this list you can it's very good list actually, if I say. Yeah, it's quite good. And even you can, like they wrote it in a complicated way, like you can write matrix, or like you see right in you can write these type of formula also, like like you saw this in mostly JE kind of paper. So writing these kind of stuff in Word is almost impossible. Like I can't write. Like I think it's quite difficult. Or for such purpose only you have this LaTeX actually. To be honest, uh, but like it will be like you can uh, like you can all this stuff you can actually Google it, like, and in that overleaf actually you can see it in detail, like exactly what, like how to write and all. Maybe I can show you matrix, I guess. uh, just let me copy this command. Usually there was some problem with this command as far as I can remember. Okay. Okay, so if you copy that command, you can see you will get this stuff from that PDF which I showed you. Just copy this part and then keep on playing with it. It's not an issue. Uh, okay, just I'll tell some key parts which you can also get, like you can understand. Like these ands are demarcations, like separating one, like what um, this ands here you can see here, here. So these are separating the content from each other. Like it will separate this, and it will keep it in aligned. Like uh, yeah, it will keep, like whatever begins after this and will be aligned together. So that's a very good advantage of this thing. So yeah, you can play with it, and then you have this math cal, like you can get in cursive handwriting math cal, or you can get in some special way. Like these are all different ways of writing your uh, the same stuff. So you go through it, you can get it actually. uh, did I miss anything?
That full stop you missed and then you gave the code was
Ah,
running. That
yeah,
what is that significance?
that's like and like ending, like syntax actually, like that dot should be there actually. Here it is there, see dot, right, then dot here. Without this
Okay,
dot, it
so
won't end.
okay.
It, yeah. It's actually it's these kind of stuff you need not remember. Like just Google it, and you'll get it actually. So it's not a big deal actually. Uh, yeah. Just just give me 1 minute. I just want to play with this thing because I remember actually how it worked. Uh, yeah, now it worked. Okay. So it's quite difficult, and I don't think you'll find it easily in net. So just remember. So earlier we were seeing that it was coming to the right. Okay. So it might confuse the reader. So we might actually want this I equal to 1 and 100 to be top and below of sigma. So then what you should do, you should write this limits, and then you do the usual underscore and subscript and superscript commands, and you'll get those things. So it's pretty much interesting. It's like this is how you write your commands. Maybe for let me check whether the matrix will also come or not. Actually, for matrix, actually there were some standard commands if I remember. Like this is one actually good place. Like in case you want pics of your latex, like output of your latex, you can come here for mathematical stuff. Like I'll paste this also. So this is a very good website, Code Hogs. So suppose you want matrix. So suppose you don't remember how to write this matrix formula, it will only give you like you should have come. Okay, something happened. Wait. Okay, I forgot. Yeah. So you get this. This is the command for matrix. So you can write as you wish, like 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 2, 2, 2. Say C. You can write. You can P also. You can write PQ0. Okay. So you get this thing, and double slash is like you're going to the next line. So that's quite important actually. Without double slash, it will not go to the next line. So that is quite important. So you can actually copy this between two. This you can. I think is it required? Like sometimes I forget whether it's required or not. Maybe it's not required. Or okay, it's required. So you can see it came here. So this is how, like in case you forget commands, but you know pictorially what you want, so then you can actually come here and like select what you want. It will give you the exact like template, and you have to just fill in the numbers, and you can actually copy this command to your latex file, and you can do it. Okay, so this is another beautiful thing about this latex. So am I forgetting anything? Obviously I'm not. Okay, uh, this I just,
In
yeah.
case I want to shift my matrix towards the right or towards the middle, eh, can I do something?
Okay, that's a very good question. Let me think. Even I also never thought. Okay. Right. Okay. Matrix in overleaf. Actually, there are commands. Matrices. Okay, sorry. This begin. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, okay. Oh, just one second. Okay, you have to use this actually. Even I also forgot. You have to bring it under something called figure and you have to do it. Let us try. Like it's a very, very good question. Usually I don't use matrices in this way, but yes, I hope it works. Oh, you got it right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's difficult to remember commands. So you have to keep very good Google searching skills actually. So you have something called text stack exchange too. So you have to just search in Google. I'm pretty much sure you'll get the answer yourself. Like the way I search, you'll get it yourself. Uh, so I hope I covered most of the basic stuff actually. Obviously, like when you start writing, like go there and like there is something like go like this also like you have something called begin align star you can write. So what you can do is you can like write your some derivation in a structured manner like a1 is say a2 plus a3 then you go next uh, then is equal to say 100 plus 100 and you keep this you do that. So I'll show how it will come. So this will come in the middle like whatever mathematical derivation you're doing it will come in the middle. So I told like whatever is there after delta, they will be aligned. Not delta. After that and symbol, so they'll come aligned in this fashion. So and you have to keep double slash to go to the next line. So this is also one particular thing which I should be keeping. Uh, so this is there. I hope like let us go through one sample document and I hope we have covered. Okay. Obviously, there is one nice feature that you can draw pictures actually. Yeah, I'll show what I mean by drawing pictures. I'll just open one of my papers, you will get an idea. Maybe this paper. Okay. Here's the paper. Here. So you'll have beautiful templates from different conferences actually. So this is one conference paper. So most of the stuff which I told you like right now actually will be enough to write a paper. Like you have some extra symbols like delta and all those you can see from that. These all symbols you can see from that symbols.pdf file. Rest like I think what I told you actually enough to write a paper. Like the knowledge which I gave you, even these all this stuff. I'm talking about these pictures. Like this is not a picture which is drawn in some paint or something. You can draw pictures in latex. Like you can give commands like okay at this position draw a circle with such diameter, and like then you do like draw. So you have here. So this is the command like draw, and all. So I'm like these are a little bit advanced stuff. Even I also don't know properly. You have to see, like obviously you have to. Okay, I'll tell you what to see. So it's called Tixet in latex. So this is Tixet. So so this is all like here you'll get how to do. So these are some fancy hi-fi stuff in case you're writing paper which involves graphics and all, then like diagrams and all. So then there you can do such stuff, and you obviously you can cite papers. So for citing, it's like something more is required. So for now, I'm not calling, but you can like how search in Google obviously how to cite a paper. Other than that, I guess rest of this stuff is like pretty much I told you like how to like write a paper, like at least beginners level knowledge. So yeah, that should this is quite nice. So yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, obviously you have like symbols. So obviously I didn't want to cover in deep because even you guys will also forget immediately. So just go through the symbols.pdf. Where is the symbols.pdf? Oh, it's here. It is. This is a very like it's a cheat sheet you can say like contains most of the stuff which you will be requiring for your day-to-day writing. Okay. So this thing is fine. Uh, so the last small part which I want to take you through is CV. Okay. So um, actually you can write your latex in this editor also. Like Overleaf is also a very good editor to write your latex files, but usually I prefer to be in locally in my laptop because what you can do, you have something called Dropbox with, so here you can share your files with other collaborators. Okay, so this you can say these are my research files, so I can share with my collaborators. So it's very easy in Dropbox. So it's better to have one like latex editor in your laptop, and it's you can create Overleaf account. Like you can use your Google ID to enter into this Overleaf, and say if you want to create something new, then you have these templates. Like, do you want to create blank project? Means you have your own templates, so customize, or you want to write some book, letter, home assignment, poster, CV, thesis. All those templates are there. So maybe you can see CV. Okay, so for CV, you have nice templates. Like you can use this template. So templates are there. So you can go and look at some nice fancy templates. I don't know why I'm seeing so many Chinese templates, but fine. So so these templates you can see, and you can start editing. Like choose a template which seems fine to you. Like this is one good template, and you can start editing. So I'll show like some people do the mistake of editing their template in Word, which is quite bad and unorganized. So it's better to actually like edit your template in Overleaf. Okay, choose a template and begin. So I'll show mine. So you have this kind of stuff, and you will have begin section, and like you need not even know the commands also. Like actually, like just observe the logical flow of the template. Like okay, so you like they're doing this to output this. So maybe if I can do this, I can output this. So use your logical stuff, and you can figure out how to write like edit templates. Like play with it. Playing is important, and play and you can get actually like this is my template. Say it's so nicely organized. So in Word it's not possible like to keep so much stuff neatly organized. You need a latex actually. So there's something which I forgot to tell you, which you can observe. Like text BF is like for bold. Okay, text, I forgot text. If you write em here, it will italicize the text. Let us try. I think that was the case. Okay. What happened? Yeah, it italicized the text here. Okay. Yeah, in this it's very easy compiling. Like do Control plus S, do Control plus S, it will compile. So it's more convenient in Overleaf. The only drawback is the sharing part with with Dropbox. That's the only drawback. And here you will have auto completions. Like if I do text like this, it will give me auto completions also. Like so if you write ARNAB something like that, so see it will come italicized. So better not to destroy my my CV, but yeah, fine. Yeah, so and another good advantage is it will sometimes ignore some minor errors. Like in the offline text editors, you need to be perfect like while writing. So in order to make yourself a perfect latex editor, use offline. If you want to get things done faster, then use this. It's quite convenient and like, yeah. So this is CV. Obviously, I showed you like new project and you can like choose your stuff and you can begin. And as I was telling, BTech project. So for BTech project, you can like ask your seniors the appropriate BTech template. Templates will be there. You need not like do it on your own before only. So all these template will be there. So this is your BTech project template and like all those drama and like crediting your advisor and all those will be there initially, and then it will begin your project, then some background, and then your results. Okay, so this was my BTech project in fourth year. So results are not ending, but yeah, and then conclusion, future work, and then you'll have references, and yeah, this is how you can actually manage BTech project and all. Like you have to do it in latex, nowhere around. So at some point of your life in KGP, you have to use latex. So it's better to learn it before. Like I learned it when I went to IASC. Usually people even after entering fourth year, many of them they don't know how to use latex. So it's better. So especially if you are trying for higher studies, this is a must, because what professors want to see is like whether you have writing skills or not. So yeah, so that's some good. Yeah, so this is one thing. Yeah, so this is rough introduction on latex, and I hope, and then in whoever is like this is sometimes I use it. This is a very good uh, for graph purpose. Is a very good is a Desmos graph. It is a very good graph stuff. Like even graph also at some point of your KGP life you will require like you need to graph many equations and like do some things. So this thing will be quite useful. So yeah, this is there. And the last thing which I want you to get introduced to is yeah, is this thing. It's Google Scholar. So you have all your okay. I go to my profile. So this is my profile. So what you should do is you should get yourself verified. Okay. Uh, like get yourself verified with your IIT Kharagpur email ID. So email for verification you can keep it, so that the advantage is like when you like you can search some papers. Okay. So you can search some particular papers which for a normal person it would be like it would cost money, but since it's under IIT Kharagpur, like our account is affiliated with IIT Kharagpur, then we'll get it for free. I can't show an example because that paper name I forgot. But like you can search any paper, like you can search my paper. Actually, you can search my paper. Actually, like one of my paper. So yes, yeah. So this is this is the place. Like okay, I'll show you the difference. So now I opened it through this particular thing. So the complete paper is available. Okay. Okay. So now let's open the same thing in incognito. I don't think it will be opening. See, I opened it through incognito. It's asking you 60 euros. Okay. So it like, and yeah. So it's asking 60 euros for this book, like the place it got published. So for buying paper, 25 euros. So paper is there online, will buy, but just I'm telling. So if you have in this Google Scholar, if you go and get yourself verified with your email ID of our campus, then you'll get those papers for free, like, and it will be useful in future. It's and Google Scholar is not only for CS guide, it's for everything, I guess. Like search chemotherapy, you'll get everything. Like it's not CS stuff. Like I'm telling in general stuff. It's general Google Scholar, and obviously you have something like H-index and all. So I'm now just a no like beginner in researching, so it's just small. But yeah, like as you keep on writing stuff, it will get good, and you have co-authors and you have stuff like it's very neat to organize. And if you want your to show someone your profile, you can show this Google Scholar profile, so it's quite fine. So Google Scholar and all you can get profile wise, you can get in like involved from third year, but create a profile and keep and like so that you can access papers whenever you start your in case you want to do some research kind of stuff or even for your BTech project and all. So these are quite useful stuff which you should know, in my opinion. Yeah. And archive, I don't want to say because archive is actually CS specific as far as I know. No, it's actually more fields, but it's more CS oriented, I would say. Like it's quite limited. Like you have physics, mathematics, computer science, qualitative biology, and all they say is that and all. But it's mostly, in my opinion, it's mostly computer science oriented. Like most papers are from computer science and mathematics background. You'll find most of the computer science and mathematics papers here. That's one advantage. Like and people actually submit their papers here so that research shouldn't be like it's like it shouldn't be paisa wala thing. Like it should be free of cost, so people upload it here. Like people don't write research papers to get money, but yeah. So yeah, this thing is there. Yeah. So I think we can stop the recording. I think yeah. Today we are done.